let's talk about Trey Lance because he hasn't done anything in a long time, but people keep talking about him, and the noise gets louder and louder as the weeks go on. And every week there's someone else saying that they have some information, they have some data, some advanced statistics, some source that says he's just not good. What do you think about this narrative that's building about Trey?
I don't like to read into these narratives. There's a lot of jargon coming out against him. But then I see things like his arm might not be strong enough. And I'm like, no, this guy is strong. Like, this guy's bigger than me. He's longer armed than me. This guy's tall. He's a specimen. He's a stallion out there. And I'm thinking, no. And you don't hear the same garbage I fear on Jimmy Garoppolo's training camps and things like that. You know, I mean, it's not as objective with Trey Lance. So I think a lot of it, you can just throw it right out the window. I think the thing that I do take seriously is, should the 49ers be concerned about Trey Lance? Absolutely. He doesn't have a lot of football under his belt in the last couple of years, but they drafted him and they are stuck with him and they will have to work with him. I don't think he fits the prototype that Kyle Shanahan historically wants. Kyle Shanahan and Peyton Manning would have been unstoppable. That's what he really wanted. I feel like the system of the 49ers puts its speed in Kittle, in Ayuk, in Debo, in Mitchell, and they just want somebody to put the ball in stride to them. Mm-hmm. Trey Lance is not that guy. So that doesn't mean the world is over. Kyle Shanahan's going to flip the script a little bit. He's going to be like, okay, so it's a guy who does not necessarily have the touch, but he has the legs. And so between the two, he's going to pepper. We know this. We know he's going to pepper this into the playbook. So I'm not that concerned with Trey Lance. As far as the rankings go, you know, he's one of the worst starting quarterbacks in football. He deserves that. He's not a starting quarterback yet. He never has been. So until he actually writes his own history, then I don't read into the fact that they lowball him. He should be lowballed. He has nothing on his resume. And as a result, I'm comfortable with where he's at. But my expectation,
how could you put him in the 20 above, like, you know, in the teens? How could you do that?
Because right, exactly. I mean, that would just be bias at that point. It would be lacking objectivity. In your heart of hearts, you can, of course, say, if Trey Lance, the big if he puts this together, then he can at least be a rookie version of Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. To me, I think that's kind of the ceiling with him. But I don't think the floor with him is that bad either. I really think that this guy is capable of pulling out some ugly wins. I really do. I like the Texans game. I just feel like the unknown of his legs and whether he's actually going to pass it or not. As this unit learns him, which is what training camp, OTAs, preseason, what that is all about, I just feel like they will snowball and this will work. I absolutely do. So I do not buy that the Niners are freaked out. Like, oh my gosh, we made a mistake. We need a new quarterback. I don't think that's it at all. When you look at the Jimmy Garoppolo situation, how it feeds into this, that he's still here, he did that to us with his shoulder surgery.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that until Jimmy Garoppolo's gone, until the Niners officially name Trey Lance the starter and Jimmy Garoppolo's out, there's always going to be reporters or fans or people that say, "Oh, I heard that the Niners don't like Trey. I heard they don't trust Trey." I mean, they're fueling the speculation. They are. So if they want it to end, they can end it and at any time. And what's weird and wild is that they haven't and won't. So,
see, the question I think Jimmy needs to ask himself, do you want to be a backup on a contender? Or at this point, what is his market? Like, he's not, all the rosters are set. So I just feel like Jimmy, with his shoulder surgery, really screwed himself. Now, he had to get it. And maybe it was inevitable. But at this point, he has no stock. So the best situation.
Yeah, but then the Niners screwed themselves too. They both screwed themselves. He screwed himself because he's out of a market. But the Niners screwed themselves because they didn't use the cap space they could have used by getting rid of him. So they both
bring a Gilmore or a Von Miller or something like that with that cap space. Can you imagine?
So they both hurt themselves.
Yeah, they absolutely. Yeah, this should have happened a long time ago. And as far as Jimmy goes, do you feel he's going to be on this roster?
Yeah, I have a feeling the Niners are so petty and they're just going to keep this going. Now, maybe Jimmy asks for his release and the Niners grant it to look good, but barring that, I don't see how they get out of this because they've said they won't cut him.
Jimmy's options
not going to be a trade.
So limited, though. Like, I think it's actually within his interest to stay because where is he going to go?
Yeah, where are you going to go? You're not going to get more money anywhere else. You're going to be a backup wherever you land at this point.
Exactly. And the thing is, the Seahawks, really, I don't like their quarterback situation, but they're not going to pay for him.
I mean, how embarrassing would it be if he becomes a free agent and no one wants him? Or if he has to accept like $1 million to be like a backup.
Love your music as always.
Yeah. Daniel Garcia 2120 says, I have noticed that we saw tons of practice footage of Lance outside of camp last year. This year, nothing. Any thoughts on that? They haven't practiced yet.
In the narrative, that's really what I think it comes down to. And also, we haven't actually been to the point at which I think we're going to see as much of him yet.
Yeah, hold on. OTA start next week, so we'll see if some. I mean, I'll be there. I'll let you know how he does.
That's what I'm saying. Is that we haven't gotten to the point yet where you would see him as much.
Yeah, it's about to start, and that's I think what's interesting. There's been nothing going on, and people are basically feeling like a content gap. Now OTAs are going to start. All that's over with. All the speculation that I heard a guy who knows a guy who said he saw Trey Lance miss a throw one time. Like, that's all over with. OTAs are starting next week. Let's see what he does.
And again, that's why I don't read into this. It's like, what is somebody watching him in the weight room and they notice he dropped a 10-pound dumbbell or something? Like, where did the arm thing come from? I don't get that.